my channel. This year we are homeschooling a 9th grader, a 7th grader, and a 2nd grader. I did curriculum choices for the 2018-2019 videos for each of them, so if you're interested in seeing what we're doing overall this year, check out my channel and I'll try and link it below. But I thought now that we have done teaching textbooks for so long that I would do an in-depth review for teaching textbooks, because we have used teaching textbooks for 3rd grade all the way up to my current year that we're using for my 9th grader, which is Algebra 1. So I thought I'd give you a little bit of the pros and cons that we found over the 6 years of using it, what we used for kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade. I'll just quickly tell you what we used, and just anything else. I can also show you some of the curriculum and what it looks like up close, and also how we use it, because there are a couple different ways that it can be used. So if you're interested in hearing more about teaching textbooks, 3rd grade all the way up to Algebra 1, stay tuned. Thanks. So basically, teaching textbooks has changed a lot this year, and they have switched to an online only version, and we have not tried that, because right now I've already purchased 3rd grade through Algebra 1. It works for us, we like it, and so we're just going to stick with that. I know a lot of other people will be doing that, and some people that have already gotten into it are going to keep wanting to purchase used versions of grades that are coming up so that they can keep doing it this way too. So we've used the CD-ROMs and the books. So this review will be on the CD-ROMs and the books, and if we do try next year for Algebra 2 or Geometry for our 9th grader, I'll do a review on that then. So because teaching textbooks doesn't start until 3rd grade, for our older two, for kindergarten, 1st and 2nd, we used a program called Rod and Staff. That would be its own review in itself. It's very different. It's not very heard of, I don't think. It's not super common. Their English is actually what's the most common. Their English program is top notch. It's awesome. So that's what we use for our older two. And then for our current little one, who is in 2nd grade, he's using Horizons Math. And we've never tried that before. I'll do a review on that as we get more into the school year, and I really know how much we're liking it for those grades. But teaching textbooks doesn't start till 3rd grade, so you do have to find something for those beginning grades. Once they start teaching textbooks, you receive a book. So this is my 6th graders. You can get a book. Now some people choose not to even order the book, or if they buy it used, they don't look for it, because you don't need this book. But inside the book, it has everything. It doesn't just have, so it'll show, here's lesson 18, and it'll have pages talking about, sorry, it's not focusing, pages that will show you everything they talk about in the teaching part of it. Then it will have the practice questions, and then it will have the real questions. So you don't need this though. Now if you were traveling and you didn't have access to computers at a time, you might need this. If you have a child that does better just straight with worksheets, they might need this. But either way, then you would have to plug it into the CD. So far, my older two boys have never used this. I don't even think we've really touched it or opened them. Then you get the CD-ROM discs. Now this is what we use. So for 6th grade, it comes with, he's in 6th grade right now, it comes with 4 discs. And when you start it, so lesson 1 will start. There'll be someone teaching them exactly what they're learning new for that day. They'll have some practice sometimes in that teaching where they'll have to interact. Then they'll do like 4 or 5 practice problems. And then the assignment itself is usually 20 to 22 problems. Every so many lessons, they'll have a chapter quiz, which will just be 20 questions quiz. There's no teaching that day. And it's all done online. The nice thing about teaching textbooks is, one, it takes a lot away from the teacher, especially if you're teaching multiple grades, because someone else is teaching them. Another pro is that it corrects the answers for you, for them and for you, and it keeps track of their grades. Every question that they are asked, they are allowed 2 chances. So if they miss it the first time, they can try one other time. If they miss it a second time, they can click show me how to do it, which my boys know that they have to click this if they've missed it twice. And then the system will take them back through and show them step by step how they could have done that problem and how to figure it out. The nice thing with the parent version of this, especially, you have to make sure you get the 2.0. The 1.0 I don't believe has this. But the one thing that I like is that I can even see if they missed a problem, how many times they missed it, and if they remembered to click show me how. So if they try and race through it and not click show me how, it'll show on my sign-in. When you first put the disc in, it will ask you if you want to sign in as a parent or the student. If you sign in as a parent, that's where you have access to their grades. If they really did bad on a lesson, you can clear it out and ask them to do it again. You can see how many they missed. You can see if they saw how to do it. And you can just see how they're progressing overall so far. The other thing that they all come with, and we also have never used, is an answer booklet. Now, I think this year for Algebra 1, we may end up using it. So here's the Algebra 1 answer booklet. Just because my oldest tends to go very independently and quicker. And sometimes when he does stop and need help with something, I'm like, what? I don't know how to do it myself. It's usually not that I don't know how to do it, it's just that I need a quick refresher. So sometimes I'll go through the answer booklet, or that's one of the rare times that I would pull open his main book that comes with it. Sorry, covering my mouth. And I can go back and see the teaching parts and just get a quick refresher so that I can help him. So that is another reason the books are helpful. I know a lot of people don't even use the books. So those are all some pros of teaching textbooks. What else is a pro? I like that I can use, once I've purchased it, I can use it for all my younger kids also. So now that my older son is in Algebra 1 and he started in 3rd grade, I have all the past years. So my other 2 boys just use those. So I'm not having to repurchase it every year. The other nice thing is it does keep its resale value. So now this is something that's going to be interesting now that they have the online. Is it still going to keep its resale value? I'm not sure. For us, we have 3 homeschooling, so, and probably 4 eventually. So we'll get our use out of it no matter what. But it did normally have a great resale value. You can reuse it over and over. If something happens to a disc and it gets scratched or lost, teaching textbooks is really awesome with their customer service, and you can call them and they can send you a new disc. When you first put it on your computer, you have to use, there's a code on the back of the CDs right here. Let's probably not show that. And you plug that in, and if it says, oh, this has been used too many times, which happened the first time I bought it, and I panicked because I bought it used. I thought, oh no, it's been used too many times. You just call them, you tell them, and they give you a new one. So those are all of the pros. Now, one thing that could be a pro or a con is it covers everything they need to know, but how thorough it is. So if you have a child that knows that they want to go into college for a very strong, and they need very strong math, I'm not sure if teaching textbooks would be the best curriculum for them. Now, someone else who's been there might know, and I'm sure there's people that might not agree with me, but I definitely would say, if anything, it does run a little behind. So my 9th grader has always been at least a year ahead in math. And I wouldn't say that's just because, math is his thing. I'd say it's because teaching textbooks seems like maybe it runs a little behind, or it can run pretty quickly. So I wouldn't call it an extremely in-depth math program. But unless your child is going to need a very, very strong math for college, like it's part of their career, it's a great program. It's great for homeschooling multiple children because it takes some of the time of teaching it off of you. Another con would be if you're like me and you have several kids using it and you only have one laptop. So we only have one laptop right now. And by the time my youngest is in 3rd grade, we're going to have to get another one because they need the laptop to do their math. Right now, it's no problem. One does math while one's doing language arts, and then they switch. But once we have 3 kids on it, that might be a little different. I don't think we have bought one of our curriculums new. We've bought them all used, so we usually get them for a decent price. And like I say, we can keep reusing them. Another thing that we found is, because my kids do not use the main workbook and they just work straight off the computer, I do tell them that I need them to have a scratch paper next to them when they sit down to do their lesson, because I need to see if they're missing a problem or they're not understanding something, where they're going wrong. And they were using a wipe-off board, which sounds nice, but then when they wipe it off and go to the next question, I can't look back and see their work, especially my son that's in the older grades. Like, I need to be able to see where he went wrong. So I tell him, if you're not going to use the workbook, then I need you to at least have a scratch paper sitting down next to you. I'm not sure if their teaching textbooks has a plan, and maybe they already have, maybe I'm behind, for going into the younger grades. I thought I heard that they will start eventually so that they go down to kindergarten, since they don't start in third. But my overall review for teaching textbooks after using it for 6 years is we love it. I wouldn't switch. I'm very, very happy with it. I think that one of the hardest things that I found, because we've switched in this is our 7th year of homeschooling, and we've switched curriculums a lot. Math is one that I don't like to switch a lot. We've been through so many language arts and reading and phonics programs and science and history, and I'll find one and we'll do it for a year and I'll be like, and I'll find something better. But math is one of those things that I don't like to switch too much, because sometimes just switching them curriculums, they miss out on stuff, because what one curriculum does at one time of year or school year, they're not doing. So one good thing for us with teaching textbooks is we've done it from 3rd grade, so that I'm reassured that they are getting everything and they're not having gaps by switching curriculums. But overall, we will keep using it. Teaching textbooks just took off so much stress when they were doing Rod and Staff. I loved it, but it was very teacher time intensive. And when you have multiple children homeschooling, that can be tough. So overall, I love the teaching textbooks. We will keep using it. If you have any questions about teaching textbooks from anywhere from 3rd grade to Algebra 1, comment down below and let me know, and I will definitely answer those. I can also tell you that I've found that the pre-algebra and algebra are very thorough, whereas maybe the younger grades I thought kind of moved quickly, or I thought maybe they weren't quite as intense as they'd be learning maybe in school. I don't feel that way with the older grades, and I forgot to kind of set that apart. The older grades, I feel like so far the pre-algebra and the algebra 1 are very thorough. And I really like the harder the math gets, that if he misses it twice and I help him, I like to watch with him to show me how to do it so that I can better help him, because it does come back fast to you. And then if he's really stuck on something, then we'll get online and we'll do a video like on Khan Academy or somewhere that it better explains it. The other thing we do with the younger grades is I add in multiplication, computer games. We have a math workbook that we got from like Sam's Club, and I'll pull worksheets out of it if they're struggling at something in teaching textbooks, just to give them that extra work. And because they do go through it pretty fast during the day, I'll usually pull out a worksheet of math that in an area I know they need to work on and have them do that also. So please subscribe to my channel if you want to see any more curriculum reviews. I'm still planning on doing a video on Ace Pace's English, a review on that, a review on All About Spelling, because we've been using that for probably 4 years, and also Explode the Code. We've used that with 2 of our children. So to see those videos to come, subscribe down below. Comment if you have any questions on teaching textbooks or anything I forgot to mention, and let me know if you've tried the online version that came out this year, because I'm really interested. I'm sure I'll keep my other kids 3rd through Algebra 1 with this because we already have it, but next year when my oldest goes, we don't have the next curriculum up, and I'd love to know your experience with the new online version. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.